Hi, everyone. Welcome back into Primetime TV, and we are Women Unscripted today. We have a short crew for whatever reason, but I was just saying to the girls, okay, as much as I love Maura and Cher and Chrysula and all our other Women Unscripted, we will hold our own today, will we not?
Will,
Got
for
it.
sure.
All right. Because I think this might be one of the last live shows that we do here for this year, because we have a massive vision, 2020 vision for 2020 next year, and I can't wait to share that with you. We're all really kind of breaking out and doing some fun things, new things, and we're going to talk about that. In this hour, we will inspire and motivate you, and who knows, we may even get you to laugh a little bit with us. To my left is Tinkerbella, also known as Helena Trangata. You've seen Helena on many, many shows in the past, and somebody else who has stepped right up to the plate here is my friend Leslee Ferguson Moore. And say what it says on your bling little badge there.
It says glitter queen, not gutter.
Glitter queen.
Glitter queen.
But if you look at it, it looks like it's a you, right? And I heard people say that. You go,
Gutter
what is
queen,
she doing
same thing.
now? Well, he didn't do that on purpose.
He had a good point. He had a good point.
See, she fits right in. Cher, I know you're out there. Maura,
Cher,
I know you're out there.
Hi,
We
Miss
miss
Maura.
you. Feel better.
Chrysula.
Yeah, and Chrysula, we just have a great family here of Women Unscripted, and basically what it is we have an idea of what we're going to sort of talk about, and we kind of shift, and then we might just go right down the bunny hole on another subject altogether.
I like that part.
Oh, she's doing. See, Cher. Remember the monkey symbols? Wait, what she's doing? She hasn't even met Cher.
That's the chair. Yeah, I felt like a monkey when I sat down.
Did you plop?
Yeah.
Did you?
But I don't
Everybody
want-
plops. Chrysula plopped a couple weeks ago when we did our show together. Anyway, no, we have not had anything to drink.
No.
All right, this is all sheer organic and authentic laugh.
Oh, I thought you were going to say share organic.
Yeah, that's a good one. We're going to have to remind Cher of that as well. But
Share,
you know,
better be watching anyway.
I know she said she was going to talk to me after the show because I want to see how things were going and all of that. But you know, you and I were talking, as we play telephone tag constantly with one another. We were talking about, and this started really a few years ago, when a lot of our mutual friends, when you get to a certain age bracket, things happen.
Not us. We're vintage. We're vintage.
And that's what you were saying. I said, oh my goodness, that's it. There's so many women out there and men, but the women, they hang out together and we try to support one another as best as we can, right?
Yeah,
Plus, it often falls to us that we're the caregivers for the men. Or for that matter, some of us are caregivers for our parents.
That's right.
And so, God bless the people who still have parents here. I'm not one of those. But,
I'm not either.
There are people that are, I was talking to my friend today whose mother-in-law is 99, can't get out of bed, but they keep her alive. And
Is she in a home or is she at home?
no, she's in a home, but the idea of that, she was like, I don't want to go there. I'm like, I don't either. But still, that means they're still paying a huge price, and the woman can't, and my friend made a joke. She goes, I'm starting to save my pills now. So, if I get there, I can just pop them.
There's something to be said about all of that, because when you get I never really thought about the whole mortality thing.
Oh, never.
Until I don't know, maybe 5 years ago when I was approaching the 7-0. And when you compare notes with family members that are in that age group. But you know what? If you can find that sense of humor, and that's one thing that I love you about too, because this girl, she
Laughs
will
at
keep you. That's right. That's right. And I mean, you've had your issues recently. I called her up, or no, she called me, hey, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm kind of busy, but I can talk to you. What are you doing? I'm in the emergency room with this, and that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Does it
Whatever.
Does it stop you? Does it stop you?
No, but I was where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. So you just take care of it and
Take care of it.
And here
keep
she
moving.
is.
Keep moving.
Keep on keeping on. That's what my belief is.
Yeah.
Absolutely agreed.
Well, and the upside to that is to show that leadership with the generations below us. And I'm not talking about overdoing ourselves. As you know, how many times we talk about learning how to put our mouth in the shape of an O with an N in front of it. And we all come to that point in time at some point. And that's one of the things that really helps us keep balanced and pace ourselves that way. And as I say, when we add a few years to our life, this happens to this person, this happens to that. For the first time in my life, I went out dancing with the girls a little over a year ago to support my friends. And I went down on the dance floor, and I was laid up for a year after that. And guess who picked me up literally off the dance floor? This one right here. What happened here?
Well, you should have seen her dancing. She was dancing like she was 22, number one. She had her leg up going, woo!
Well, when you're a Motown girl and the peppermint twist comes on,
you
isn't that
gotta
what we
do
did?
it.
You got to do it right. I didn't think anything. And I didn't have my dance shoes on, so my bad for that.
That's right.
So that was a real hard lesson learned.
But what brought you back?
What brought me back was the Beamer. And that was from knowing really good, solid friends that are into health and wellness. And we did a show on the Beamer.
You did physical therapy as well.
I did that. I did the physical therapy. And when I did the physical therapy, my little friend Lee there, when I said, what do you think about the Beamer? She said, do you have one? I go, my friend's coming over and giving me those treatments. And she said, or sessions, I should say. She said, keep doing that between that and the PT. And I can guarantee you I can do a Motown twist on one leg again. I don't know that I'm ready to really go out there and do that just yet, but I'm approaching the comfort zone. But the thing is that you never know when something's going to happen where, you know, you get laid up or like
Well,
with
she
you.
knows. She was just in the hospital for a stroke.
Yes.
And today I had a friend who called me and said that she had just had a heart attack and just gotten home from the hospital. And my age, up in St. Louis, and that just kind of makes you take a reevaluation, right? You know,
little
of
sigh.
What are we doing? What are we doing to take care of ourselves?
Well,
Ourselves and
that's
our
right.
friends
That's
and
right.
our spouses,
That's right.
significant others, whatever.
Everybody you
it's
care about around you.
everyone you care about. You want to share things like the Beamer with them, right?
Yes. Of
You want.
course.
I mean, thank you, Chrysula, because Chrysula
she's a
also
delight.
allowed me to gifted me sessions on the
You were dragging your
Beamer.
leg.
I had a foot drop. I had a foot drop.
that what they
Not
call
long.
that?
Yeah, they had and I went to a neurologist, one you know right now, and he said, well, we could give you physical therapy and we could put you in this decompression machine. It's, what did I say it was? $800, and we don't know if it'll work, you know, something like that. And Chrysula said, well, you know, do you want to do the Beamer? And I did the Beamer, and now I have no foot drop. And so it was amazing because I had never had that. So when I say foot drop, I would step off of a curb and I couldn't feel my foot touch the ground. So you never know where your foot is, so you have to constantly be looking down, which gives you a real unsafe feeling. And I don't know what caused it, but I do know that I'm well and ready to go dancing again. I mean, I've been dancing, so it's not like I haven't been dancing. But PT, doing the exercises they suggested, and the Beamer. And then, not too long after that, we got involved, thanks to you, with this patch.
Oh, our patches, I know.
And this patch just gives me a sense of wellness. I don't know exactly why, you know, what do you call it? The crazy patch.
I call it the crazy patch.
The crazy
because
patch. I call it the
it's
magic patch. And
It's
the fact-
the crazy patch, because it's crazy good. It really is. And I just want to preface the show today to let you know that we're not here to diagnose or make any kind of claims on pain or things of that nature, but each of us are here to share what we're doing as kind of like a triage tribe, which we talked about several years ago when one was having a stroke, another one was doing this, one's falling down, one's got a numb foot or whatever. And we were all comparing notes. We were all comparing notes about what each of us are doing and what's working for us. And Leslee, I've known Leslee since the days of HSN. If you were ever one of our shoppers, viewers that spent many hours with us, if you remember the derma wand, the little oxygenated gizmo Yeah, exactly.
As Ivana Trump would say, you go like this and lift the eye. Yeah, okay. Quite a bit of plastic surgery, probably. Oh, please help me. Hello.
But
Great tool.
how many of those did we sell?
Oh, thousands.
And I knew I'd make my quota when I saw Leslie coming on board
So
with
fun.
that thing, and we
So
do the
fun.
demo. And
Oh, apparently it worked. Look how beautiful her face is now.
absolutely, absolutely.
And I'm older than you two.
Oh my goodness. So, that whole idea of the triage tribe is kind of like what came to my mind when there's just the three of us today, but we have a lot of power thoughts to bring forth to you if you're interested in hearing. And just the whole thing of going into a new year and things that we've discovered.
Can I just speak to the triage tribe for a bit? Because remember when my mom and your mom were our age, let's say, or even younger, they used to have things like sewing circles
Sure.
and quilting
Yeah,
circles
yeah.
and things. And I get to thinking about that, and we don't do that anymore, but I think that they probably did that more for gossip than anything else. And I don't mean necessarily bad gossip, but to share their thoughts. And now we've gotten so separated. We're all on digital, social media things. And some of us will maybe write what happened to Barb on the Beamer. She wrote about that a number of times. But the other idea is that my mom would come home from, sewing circle, and she would say, oh, I heard so-and-so, now they call them hacks, but back then they were like, well, I know if you put the aluminum foil over here, it'll do this, it'll take care of something differently. Or instead of using wax paper in the freezer, I'll put saran wrap over it. I mean, little what we call hacks now. Well, that was great, but some of that really has value, It
does have value.
And how else are we going to get it if we don't talk to you about it today? So, no, we're not selling this. Yes, we all sell things, but it is not the point of selling. It's the point of sharing something that can be helpful to you, because how else are we going to know?
No,
and
it's
you know
true.
what? The doctors aren't going to tell us.
Well, here's a big thing, and if you're in our age bracket or maybe even younger than us or older than us, it doesn't really matter. But if you're comparing notes with your friends, family, relatives, and what's happening out there in the world today and what is causing a lot of the different issues with people, Parkinson's for one, as you know, my husband and I do research and just constantly research what's going on out there and what could cause that, and symptoms and this and that. What can be done about this tremor? What can be done about that tremor? And it's interesting to compare notes on what's on the internet, but then you compare that with your friends, neighbors, relatives, family members,
Absolutely.
right? And you're right, excuse me, because if you can compare different things, and it takes a very open mind to wonder why a sock, a patch, a Beamer mat that it's costly, okay? How can a person get results from that? Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Well, and it's kind of like these cell phones. When I heard that we'd be able to make a phone call and you'd be able to see the person, I thought, no, I won't be on the planet when that happens. And here we are. Of course, there are times where I want to just throw this out in the garbage can, too. And I'll be the first one to admit
Amen.
that. Okay, with all the digital this, the digital that. And it can be really mind-boggling, but it doesn't have to be if you have a source of trust in people that has maybe given you that over time and speaks to trustworthy products and systems, and to have doctors that you can trust. That's a big
because
deal.
even medicine, they say it's a practice, right?
Thank you.
It's practice.
Yes, it
it's
is.
trial and error.
Yeah.
So why not try things that do not hurt you?
That's right.
We know that there are many drugs in the market. I mean, all you have to do is watch TV, and you see that they could blow up your bladder, cause
Blow up
death,
other
do
things.
this, I mean, there's all kinds of things in their description. These things are just energy. And so if you put your feet, as we talked about earlier, if you put your feet on insoles and your feet and your body feel better, it's not got negative side effects to
Well,
it.
I've never gone without a Vox socks or insoles for probably 2 years.
Wow.
Ever.
Isn't that interesting?
Nope.
And so it just amazes me that we don't already know about it. I mean, to
That's
me,
right.
I'm new to the whole box sock
But
thing.
it's being in the know by doing what we're doing.
That's
and
exactly
sharing it.
right. So-
being in the know.
So how do you know?
That's what we do is we share it. And if you guys want to share something with us, we're certainly open to hear about it
are.
as well.
Yeah, we probably should call this show Special Edition, the Triage Tribe, because we really are bringing forth various options that you can look to have a 2020 vision for the next year. Before I get going here, I want to mention something. You know about the opioids out there. You know what's happening. This lady right here is rocking babies, okay, who are addicted.
And guess what these socks do? They help people with pain. So maybe you can get off those opioids just by the difference in wearing a sock or an insole.
What if it would help when you're,
It is amazing.
if you put something underneath the baby? What do you think?
Well, doesn't that make sense? Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be cool if we could even have little baby socks?
No, but
Yeah, have you rocked those babies with those socks at?
Now, I don't know if it would work through me.
no, you don't.
Especially do you rock the same babies every week?
Only if they're still there. Usually they're not there more than 1 or 2 weeks. But I had one recently. I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but when he came in, his mom was under house arrest, and they didn't know if he would go home because he had to go through the whole social worker thing to figure out if it was good for him to go home. So then I found out that he's not going home. He's going into the system, which I hope would be a good foster mom. But they've kept him for weeks now because he can't get off the opioids. He'll get off, but he's still tremoring. He's still having problems. He still, is, they call them disorganized. The baby is disorganized. And so he's just about to go home the other day. And so I got to hold him for 3 different times. And oh my gosh, he just, he knows my voice now. And, I just want to put him in my pocket and take him home with me.
Does he calm down when he hears your voice?
Yeah.
See?
So.
'Cause
And
he's
he knew
feeling
his
your
he knew his
heart.
he knew his nurse's voice too, because he doesn't have a mama or anyone else that's coming to visit him. So
I tell
he
you,
gets all of
it's
his
so
love
sad.
from us, And then because we don't normally see them when they're that old, right? They've already gone home. So he heard the doctor and he looked around and was like, "There's a new voice here, it's
Really?
a male voice."
That's funny.
So we're not
It's not
usually
funny,
they're
but-
not usually there when they're that cognizant. You know what I'm saying?
And how old was he? About?
He was 3 weeks at that point.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
So I always like to tell people what you're doing too. This opioid thing. I did hear that they're trying to pass a law where kids have to be drug tested before they get into school. So, or during, I heard that a couple of weeks ago. So that could be something that could help. We'll see what happens with all that.
And I mean, like Helena, doing volunteer work and things like that. That's what I am. I'm the vice president of Love Thy Neighbor.
Of Love Thy Neighbor. Tell us about that.
and-
Aren't those were those the shoelaces?
Yes, yes.
The shoelaces.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have them
the
in my
flashing,
shoes. We need to have
drinking glasses.
Yes.
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 But it's a very, it's very, it actually is heart-wrenching what we're actually doing. Is the name of the nonprofit is Love Thy Neighbor. And what we do is we do various events, and obviously we collect money from people, and we take the money and we hire a cleaning company to go in and clean homes of disabled veterans that can't clean their own homes, people that are going through chemotherapy, and that's about the last thing. That's about the last thing you want to do when you're going through chemotherapy is clean your house. So it's just very rewarding. So, like Helena, we're just doing as much as we can to help. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
There's so much need in our community.
That's exactly.
And, that's the other
and
part.
I know nobody's doing what
If we
Love Thy
stay
Neighbor's
healthier,
doing.
we can continue giving back to
That's
the community
exactly-
longer.
Well, it's a driving force to be healthier.
gonna stay healthy.
It really is. And to just keep the faith in yourself and just step out on it and just know you're going to make a difference in the world. And this year coming up, I know many women, including myself, that is breaking out of some really tough times.
Yes, very tough times.
You see us having a good old time here and all that. But I got to tell you, each and every single one of us has gone through something that maybe you've gone through. And it's a matter of how you manage it.
I don't think you can get to be this age and not have gone through something. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
Something
not.
major. I mean, from, this woman today, her daughter who lives in the same town with her, my friend who had the heart attack, her daughter never came to the hospital to see her. And you're just, I wanted to call her daughter up who, I knew. I mean, I've known her since she was an infant. And just, tell her off. But, it's not going to help.
No,
not
it's
gonna
not,
help.
absolutely not.
Because
Absolutely not.
she's
Everybody
she's
doesn't
part of that
think the way
me,
we do.
The me generation, apparently, it's not important to, make an effort to go see your mom.
No.
Well,
Or grandma.
and
or,
you just never know what, people are maybe going through their
So
own
we're here
things.
for a number of reasons. I mean, when I say we're here at this age, I think that God has kept us here because He wants us to share the wisdom, not just of beamers and patches and
Yep,
whatever.
no.
It's the wisdom of the ages. It's the sage wisdom that we have all the lessons that we've learned because you
And it's that wisdom that we were born with. We were all born with this wisdom. We were born with these talents and treasures, and it's up to us to step into those and bring them forth. And I believe that with all of my heart more and more as I get older. I believe that. I mean, I don't know if it was you or you. I said, the Holy Spirit woke me up last night, and I go, really? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I just fell asleep. You want me to do what? Okay, let me write this down. When? Okay, let me write that down. Right? I was up all night writing. But it worked.
Yeah.
It was answers to prayers. And when you know what you know when you know it, and you're blessed with it, why wouldn't
Absolutely.
you? I'm trying to use this studio here as a platform for My Chamber TV, for Primetime, for Women Unscripted, for people like yourself to come on and share your passion. I mean, there's so much. I had no idea till I started doing these shows and learning the people in the neighborhood and how they're going out there and making a difference in the world. Rocking babies. I mean, really, did you know that about Helena? That's why every time I bring her on, I got to talk about that because to hear her, I mean, you're holding yourself together today, but believe me, I've caught her on the way home from the hospital and in tears and just pouring her heart out and releasing on what she's, and sharing some things that she can share with me that I'd start, right? And so it's okay though. It's tears of sadness, but it's also tears of joy because you look at that, the positivity of you rocking
That's
that baby
exactly right.
and holding that baby close to your heart
and I feel
feeling
all
that heart
kinds
vibration.
all kinds of love.
Yes.
But the other part of it is you fill them with, I tell them that their life's going to be filled with joy and happiness, but they do have to be strong, and they have to be brave because you don't know what type of situation they're going to go into.
No,
Even if they
especially-
are going into their own home, you don't know what that home
That's
is.
exactly
So you
correct.
tell them they're going to be brave. You tell them they're filled with love. You tell them, I tell them that God has filled them with love. I don't tell the nurses that I say that.
Oh, are we not being politically correct over there? Don't even get me started about that.
Well, how many times have people actually said to you, you're still working? You're still, well, yeah, I am. You know why? Because I can. I can.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, there's so many people we know.
But isn't it even more for me? It's like because God tells me this is what I left you here for.
Yeah.
This is what you're still here for.
And do some good.
Do some good. This is your
Yes.
time, girl. You got
Yes.
talents. You know what
Yes.
they say about the guy who had his talents. In the Bible, it's a parable. And so I don't want to get to heaven and be told you hid those talents. No, I want to do.
Yeah,
and you know what?
everybody can't
The
do
more
what you
I
do
do,
because it's heart wrenching.
the more that I do,
oh, I know.
the less I feel anything that's less than gratitude. You know, when you're holding someone, and whether that's what you do and you're helping somebody who has chemo get their house cleaned, what a gift that you offer that to them, or to a veteran. That's such a gift. And you know, when we do that, it just gives us love, comes right back to us in magnitude. But it's not that I need it back. It's the fact that that's what God wants me to do. This is what I'm here for.
Exactly.
You know that. I mean,
That's right.
I'm not having to tell you anything.
That's right.
You know it. And look at what you do here on the show.
Yeah.
You're putting us in touch with all these people.
That's well, and I'll tell you too, my driving force is my family. And that little grandson with the glasses and the spiky, whatchamacallit, mohawk hair now. He had it all down to here. I think somebody told him he looked like a little girl, and he came home and said, I want to get my hair cut. And so he did.
Doesn't that make a big difference when they get their hair cut the first time? They go from this little toddler that looks so cute and adorable, and then they're like, it's a little boy he's got. He's a big boy now. He's not a little boy, he's a big boy. I just saw somebody else who the little boy had gotten all his curls cut off, and you're like, what happened to the baby?
He's a boy now.
Well, you know, it's interesting because when I first met my husband, Kelly, which was a little over 22 years ago, and we're talking about his program, his personal growth and development program, many, many years ago, and we were laying out by the pool, and that's where he would get his godly downloads. And I said, you know, we've got to get to the kids. We've got to get to the kids. And then I said, we've got to get to the pregnant moms. And so we've gotten to the pregnant moms with our program, my husband's program called Baby's Breath. And teaching how to breathe, but also teaching the good affirmations. This is a whole system. So my thing to give to the kids, and especially it's being embraced. Meditation in Pasco's school system is being embraced. Did you know that?
Yeah, you sent me that video
and so I really want to put together our Tiger Kids program in teaching kids meditation in motion with Tai Chi and Qigong. And it's a whole, and it's patterned after animals and all of that, because these kids are stepping into this generational, I just want to scream, with what they're faced with. And I mean, I remember when I was growing up as a kid, you know, we know everything when we're teenagers, right?
Oh, but I still do. I still do.
And our moms and dads, they were just so old-fashioned. They just weren't getting it, right?
Absolutely not.
And I sometimes think, are we old-fashioned? No, I don't think we are. Because and we've all talked about this. Cher, I know you're watching. How many times have we talked about it's up to this generation right now to pass on down to the kids, our grandkids, and keep some of these things alive. Old family tradition. I just want to ask you, do you sit down for a family dinner with your kids? I have a handful of people.
Do you know how many of them don't? How many of them don't? I mean, my kids
I don't
have
get
eaten,
it.
well, my grandkids, when I was up in Virginia up in Detroit years ago, they ate, there was days that they ate 3 meals in the backseat of the car, all fast food in their little seat, because they would eat breakfast on the way to the daycare, and then whatever they ate at the daycare, or if they were picked up at noon or whatever, they would eat on the way home, and then they would eat again on the way to the soccer game or whatever they went to in the evening. And there was days that they literally ate fast food 3 times a day, and not only did they eat the fast food, they were actually eating in the back seat of a car, sometimes with a video on.
And that's the generation.
Oh my gosh! I just like
I know
because
and
it's one of the best times. I mean, you don't appreciate it. There were 6 of us. I never appreciated it at the time, but we had dinner together every night. Every night. And it wasn't
You
like
probably didn't have a car you could eat in the back of, maybe.
Yeah, no.
That's right.
And we didn't, well, McDonald's wasn't even out there yet. I'm really dating myself. But my mom cooked every meal. We rarely had anything that resembled fast food. We had some canned food, which was
Tell us your favorite meal, the meatloaf.
Oh, no. And my mom was a great cook, except for Italian food, couldn't do that. But we sat down at a table that was expected, that we would sit at this table. We stayed there until we were we asked to be excused.
Oh, remember that?
We were expected.
Can I be excused? I remember. Oh, yeah.
We were expected to
Gosh,
clean
I
our
forgot about
plates.
that.
Yes, we were expected to clean our plates, which that was not a gift they gave me. And then, but now, I mean, I tried to give china to my daughter-in-law, and
They don't
told me
want it.
They don't want it because they use paper plates. And then they all eat wherever they want to. I mean, and it's not just my kids. I mean, I've seen it with my nieces and nephews, and so they often, none of them will have maybe they all sit down together one time a week. And I think that's so sad because I didn't know it was a gift when I was doing that. When that was all happening, I didn't realize it was a gift. But now when I look back on it, that was some of the best times because we were all together in one room at the table.
Yeah.
And my dad, we didn't have any of those fancy games of, what did you learn today and all that stuff. But my dad was very well read. And we would ask him what I would now say is a stupid question. Well, and he might use a word in his conversation, we didn't know what it meant. And his go-to answer was always the same. When you get finished eating, go look it up in the
I knew you were
dictionary.
going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
So guess what? If you start looking at the things in the dictionary, you learn a lot.
yeah, you do, because then you go up, down.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you look at the word before, the word
Yeah.
after, what's that, over here, oh, I heard that word last week, what was that meaning, So I learned a lot from reading the dictionary or the encyclopedia.
Oh my goodness, we had a big whole long thing.
So it's the same as looking it up on Google. I learned lots of things from Google as well.
Gosh, yes,
Don't get me
very much
wrong,
so.
but it's just the idea that I could go back to my dad and say it very smugly. I looked it up. I know what that word means.
Do you know, I was in Publix just today, and there was a gal, young, very young, and she was, I forget how we got to talking about the digital age, and she agreed that there's a lot of things that really cause a lot of stress for the younger generation. She says, well, I'll just tell you right now, I'm an old soul, and when I'm having dinner with my folks, I put my phone down, and I said, well, congratulations, you're way ahead of others in your generation. So they're out there. I just think we need to just re-encourage and reinforce
absolutely.
that. My daughter-in-law and my son, Jason and Jamie, Sunday is family day, and that's that. And we spend time together. We all spend time. I mean, we'll go hang out at the flea market, do nothing, and just watch.
But you're together. So
We're together. We're laughing and having fun, doing absolutely nothing. And I guess he said, my grandson, he said something about, what are we going to do today? And I think Jamie she just wanted to say, and she did say it, well, we're not going to really do anything today. We're just going to hang out as a family at the house. And he was perfectly fine with that because he's entertainment in a box himself. So, and you'll meet him here one day because he wants to go on Mimi's TV show.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
I'm going to bring him on Women Unscripted. That'll be a hoot.
Oh, yeah. He'll keep you all entertained.
Oh, yeah. He talks a lot. I don't know where he gets that from, but he does.
I don't know where he could possibly get that from.
But anyway, it's...
He's going to be a TV host like his grandma.
Oh!
Mimi.
You have no idea. He received a gift. He just celebrated his 6th birthday. Okay, so he got this big monster dinosaur that made noise and did this and did that. You should have seen that kid demonstrate that. I'm going, there's another TV show host in the making here. Oh my God. And it was very natural, just very, and look, maybe it does this, but it gets it right in the camera's face. This kid, 6 years old, right? Demonstrating
He's
this.
been watching you.
Oh my! No, he hasn't seen any of the shows.
He's not seen any of the shows?
No, it just comes natural. Well, he does have my genes in him, so maybe we'll do a kids show with toys.
Oh, that'd be funny.
John, there's a show.
That'll
drive
that's a good
him
idea.
nuts.
That's funny.
Hey, it could. You just never know. Kids Unscripted. Oh my.
Well, Bella and the story with Origami Al. And so
Right.
today I was watching I Sell Origami Al. And many of you know about this because we've had the shows, Barb sells as well. But the thing was, so today they were giving a whole lot of the Cyber Week specials, right? And they talk about, so Bella started this company when she was 14, right? Wow. Addie, who is her younger sister, they said she's already got all of her Christmas shopping done. She's already wrapped it all. She already has it all under the tree. And she fixes dinner for them every night because the rest of the family is working. The 12-year-old fixes dinner. Now, Do you think that she's going to be a success in life? You can bet she is. You can bet she is.
That's so cool.
She's fixing dinner every night for her family and already has the Christmas shopping done. And she's
that's how they pull together. And she's learned a really good skill
a very
set.
good lesson because the fact that she's doing this is contributing to the family, right?
Yeah.
How
Do me
cool
a
is
favor
that?
and hold up your locket because my gold chain broke, and so I haven't gotten it fixed, so I don't have my locket on right now. But these are the living lockets that you can create,
So
and
beautiful.
I adore mine because I have the little lockets of hair of my Yorkies that I lost
John,
in
can
them.
you see this, John?
And I just gave I just gave Jamie, our new nurse practitioner in the family, a locket, and she fell in love with it. It had NP and all that other good stuff with the stethoscope and everything. But getting back to these generations and all, I really do feel that it's up to us. Don't you think, Toots?
Yeah, I do, Toots. And we're trying. I mean, everybody's trying their best and doing what they can do to help.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just want to, because you'll see them. You'll see them in McDonald's. You'll see them. There's so many kids are so disrespectful, but there's so many good kids. I mean, if I ever spoke back to my parents the way oh, help me.
It's
Help me.
Yeah, it's different. I was cleaning out a lot of books that I haven't been using, or they're passé, or we learned, or whatever. Do you know what I came across that I love to go to Barnes & Noble and go to their bargain book table?
Yeah.
And I found, remember Emily Post? It was a thick book like this on etiquette. And I'm going, I am holding on to that because how to set a table. I mean, all these things on etiquette in there.
They have classes now, Dillard's and all. They have etiquette classes. Because
Maybe it's coming back.
I don't know that it's ever gone away. I think that the problem is now you've got two parents working.
Yeah.
Sometimes their schedule isn't even the same as the kids.
Yeah.
And who's got time to teach them? I'm not saying that they don't have time to teach them, but I think that there's only so much you can teach in a certain amount of time. You've got homework, you've got baths, you've got food, you've got all of that, soccer, whatever. And I think that there's just there has to be someone else to help teach that.
Yes.
And they also have the classes that teach how to be an adult.
Where do they have that class?
I don't
I'd
know,
like to sign up for that
there. But they're out there. Oh yeah. How teaching you how to be an adult. Yes.
Well, I think that's good because I think a lot of people that come out of college, they've never learned how to adult because they've always had somebody else taking care of everything.
Yep.
And I think that, little simple things like how to press your shirt or how to buy groceries or how to budget.
How to write cursives.
Oh, well, they're not going to teach that anymore.
I know.
That's been decided.
I told you I went to the recent USPS to mail something out, and he couldn't read it. I go, why can't you read it? I have good handwriting. He goes, I don't know how to read cursives. How many times have we
But that's
had
okay.
this?
So it'll be our secret language.
Only you.
We can write cursive. They won't understand us.
There you go. There you go. Right? Yeah. Jay-Z's learning.
Is he?
He's
Who's
learning.
deciding that? Is that at school or no?
Jamie and Jason spend time with him. They're very
But so they're
conscious
teaching
parents.
it. It's not school that's teaching it.
I don't know because he's been practicing his name, and he is left-handed too. Takes after his dad, so he's learning it. But they're very good at spending all that time with him. These little guys. Didn't we have a nap time in kindergarten?
I can't remember that far back.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we did. Yeah,
Did we?
because we actually had mats. Well, I don't know about me, but my kids had mats in their kindergarten where they would have time. They would like a yoga mat, but
Yes.
not as nice. But
They don't.
and they would lay
today.
down.
There's no nap.
And so it's quiet time for the teacher. I mean, even if they didn't sleep, they were expected to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably why I never did it, because I couldn't be
Maybe
quiet
we
that long.
didn't. Oh God, I couldn't either.
know.
I always got in trouble for talking.
No, we can't even imagine.
I'll never. That's all I ever got in trouble. But it was a lot because every
I
time.
wandered around the room. That was my first grade
no,
one.
I just
Leslie
talk.
likes to wander about the
Yeah.
room during.
Yeah.
I just go and talk. I want to go around and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Why can't I?
I know.
It's a classroom. No.
That-
So? I want to talk to them.
That's an adjustment when you're a social butterfly. and
Yes,
you're
it's-
supposed to.
What's your
Yeah.
placement in the family?
I'm the only child.
Oh.
My mommy lost 5 babies after she had me, yeah. And I was spoiled rotten, but spoiled with love, a lot of love.
Oh, that's
And I
good.
never got away with anything because I was an only child. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I was a very, I was probably I would compare myself to raising 4 kids.
But that's probably why you wanted to talk to everybody else too, because you didn't have siblings at home.
Yep, that's
Could be.
exactly.
You were
Could very
that
well
was
be.
where you were gregarious.
And that's
because-
why my friends are so important to me, and because they really are. They're
Yes.
like
I
my
did not
family.
know you didn't
Yeah.
have any siblings.
No.
Oh. And there's a lot to be said for friends. A lot to be said for friends.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I really have had the circle of friends more in my latter years. Of course, when I was at HSN, I mean, all we did was work and host and go to meetings and sleep and get up and go do it again. And so there was
But you made
really
friends there. You still have contact with a lot of those people.
I do. But I think that the circle of friends that we have, like our close-knit friends where we communicate whether we see each other or not, we're on the phone talking about what we're going to do to help change the world, being our little
Yeah.
parts and all of that. And that's why this show, it's going on 6 years, girlfriend.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And if you would like to be on the show, get a hold of one of us. You never know, you could. And if you have some suggestions,
Oh, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear it.
I know. So, I made a little note here talking about the golden years. And whenever I hear the golden years, I
that's
think
Why
of
would
the
you
show,
even say
right?
that?
Horrible.
I don't like that.
I say that
Horrible.
because we don't want them to be rusty years either. So the golden is better than that. But here's the thing. Health, wellness, there's so many transitions that we go through as we reach that sage stage, if you will. We've learned or we haven't. And if we have learned, that's what we're talking about, is just sharing and living in and of the moment. So we've got, we normally have a whole hour, and we've already been chit-chatting, having some fun here, and really getting down to the nitty-gritty of, I think, what we all kind of tap into and what's happening in the world. You can stop a perfect stranger on the street, bring up any subject, and they'll agree with you, I tell you, because it's especially boomers, especially baby boomers like us, right?
Yep.
And I thought, let's talk about what you girls are going to bring to the table, like next year. And I know what you are, but I want us to hone in on it because you started to talk a little bit about the socks. So I want you to talk about that. And you and I did a show on the patches. We're all doing the patches, these crazy patches.
Got
and,
mine on?
And
Mine on, but
I forgot
I can't show you mine. I know it says scripted, but not that unscripted.
No, it's unscripted, Leslie.
That 3 inches above the belly button one?
Yeah. You've
And
been
it ain't
using
pretty.
that, haven't you?
I've
above the
got
belly
mine
button?
on my neck.
The stem cell? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and you can get a hold of any one of us. You'll see
So it's called X39, what we're
Yep.
talking about. It's X39 through a company called
LifeWave.
LifeWave. And I guess everybody has different experiences with it, but when Barb was telling me about it, I was like, I would like to have a little bit more energy. I don't have any real problems, but I have allergies. I have, this, that, and the other. I don't know what normal energy is for a woman my age because I've never been here before.
Our first
time, right?
I have a lot of friends that are close to my age, but they don't do as much outside of the home as I do. So maybe this is normal, but I was like, I would like some more energy, so I started using this. It gives me a sense of well-being. I think it helps. So then it surprised me by doing a couple things. I had kind of twisted my knee the other day, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take it off of my neck and put it right here on my knee. And within literally seconds, my knee quit hurting.
The stem cell patch.
And then
Great
it happened
stories.
again. So the knee was better. A few days later, I kind of twisted it again, I guess. So I was like, well, we're going time. Let's try it again. So I took it off I usually put it on the back of my neck. I put it on my knee, and pain's gone away. So I was like, yes.
It's fabulous.
That's why
And
that's
then-
why I call them crazy patches.
Yeah, and so one of the other testimonies is we have a pain patch as well. Excuse me, there are actually 2 patches. It's to
Brown one and a white
a
one.
brown one and a white one. So you put where it's hurting in between. So you put one on each side. I got them for a friend of mine. His name is Tom. He has a lot of issues with his pain. He put them on, and pain went away. He was in shock. So I was like, yes, I love the fact that this is so useful, and there's no.
But it's immediate.
It is immediate. It is immediate.
With most people, it is. Yes,
With
it
most
is.
people, it is. And to the point that she said he didn't need them anymore. His wife said he doesn't need them anymore. I was like, well, I know him. He's overweight. He's, love him to death. But, I know he's going to need them again because his body is not functioning 100%. So you have some stories in that, too. You put one on your back.
I do, but I have to do my disclaimer that we're not here to do any kind of diagnosing or making any pain claims, and everybody's results will vary, and they do vary. And there are a lot of different combinations that we're all trying, and it's almost like a patch party. Because we're, did you try it this way? No, let me try that worked. And it's really, really fun. But my husband, just today I was telling the girls that he came home from teaching. He did just 1 hour today. Tuesdays are the back-to-back. That's always the test. And I call both you guys and let you know how that's going. So the biggest thing is remembering to patch yourself. But the interesting thing when you don't and you forget or whatever, you notice that, and again, everybody's results will vary because we're not cookie cutter humans. And he said it was like 3 days since I had patched him. He come home today and he said, I got the best news ever. He says, even when I do this one exercise in the Tai Chi class, he gets excruciating pain in his shoulder, and he's had it from about a 30-year-old rotator cuff injury. He said it was at a 1 today, and it was at a high 10 plus before you introduced that to me. And Leslee, we've always stayed in touch. I mean, probably close to 20 years now, because I've been gone from HSN for going on 14. And so we knew each other then. And every now and again, she'll call me up, hey, Toots, what are you doing? Every time.
time.
I know something's coming. But you know what? Here's where integrity and credibility comes in. Do you think I would say to Leslee or even Helena, let me call you back on that? I listen, because I've learned to trust these two just like they've learned to trust myself and my husband, because we do the research, we research the researchers, we research the company, and get really behind all that. So we're excited about these, and not all patches are created equal. When you and Bill, your husband, who is a veteran, God bless him, came on Veterans Day, we had a fantastic show, didn't we? And you read about how the company gives to the veterans and makes it makes affordability for them to be able to live a better quality of life.
Yes.
So the patches are one thing that, and there's all kinds of different patches. So you'll see along the bottom thirds all of our web links, and you can contact any one of us about these crazy patches. So think about that. And we're not really here to really sell anything. We just are sharing what we're all doing. And this one here, let me tell you, Joe, her husband, can I just say that he's not real easy to convince on anything? What happened with Joe when he put these socks on?
Well, as I tell them, if he would learn to put his pants on right, he might not have this. But he gets dressed when he goes to the hospital. Of course, he has to wear long pants. Here in Florida, most of the time he wears shorts. But he puts his shoes on first, and then he puts his pants on. I'm like, I would tip forward too, because that would be uncomfortable for me. But he puts his shoes on first, then he puts his pants on. And this day, when he first tried the socks, so he's using the wellness sock, and he put them on, and he didn't tip forward when he was putting his pants on. And he came to me and he said, those socks work. I didn't tip forward. And of course, that's a laugh, because I was like, if you just do it my way, you wouldn't tip forward anyway. But he was like, amazed at the socks, and then he wore them to the hospital. And that's where my concern was, because he's fallen a couple of times. Once he fell at the ER, another time he fell outside and went to the ER, a different ER, and so his balance, he's going to be 79 on Thanksgiving Day.
God
Happy
bless
birthday,
him.
Joe.
Happy birthday, Jose.
And so I worry about him falling, and so I'm so tickled to find something that's going to make him feel better and be less likely to fall. So I was so excited about it. And so they make socks, they make insoles. In fact, you might have heard earlier when Leslie said that she has her insoles on. She wears the socks or the insoles all the time.
Yep.
They make different sizes, different colors, different everything is socks. They also have a patch. They also have a sleeve now that you can put on. But there again, we're not here to sell it per se. We're here to allow you to know that it's out there.
The triage tribe.
Because of the fact that, oh my goodness, I don't want him to go to the doctor and get a pill about his balance, because he's already on pills, because he's had heart attacks, he's had a this, he's had a that. The pills that are sometimes killing us, we know this.
Oh, really? You think?
Yeah. And so anything that I can do, I take thyroid. That's all I take. That's all I want to take. When they say, we're going to give you a pill, I say, no, you're not. I'm not going to take the pill. So we work really hard. All of us work really hard to be more holistic, I think. All of us work hard to be happy and joyful, allow that to happen. And those pills sometimes will actually change your mood or whatever, so you can't even feel happiness anymore.
Absolutely.
And you can't sleep anymore. We have a friend who's going through dialysis right now. Because of the dialysis, she has really heavy issues with sleeping, and I just gave her the sleep pads from LifeWave. So try it before you get into some doctor's office and he loads you up with pills. Try some of these things, because we've been using essential oils for years.
Oh my goodness.
Some of us use CBD oils.
I have my own concoction right here.
Yes, and so these things are all tools in our tool belt, and when we use them, they work. Isn't it amazing?
I know, and we do sometimes forget what's in our toolbox, but we really are all about healthy living, wellness, any option that we can try on ourselves. And I mean, I've been a product junkie ever since I started HSN, really and truly, and I learned so much. In fact, I learned that if you say there's a certain percentage of an ingredient of the latest buzzword in a product, like creams and potions and all of that, they can say that it has it in it, but what we don't know is it's a teeny weeny little percentage. So that was one of the first things I learned way back then. But it is all about healthy wellness. And I got the call from Toots over here. Hey, what are you doing, Toots? What now, Leslie?
Yeah, what are you doing
Hey,
now?
have you heard about the magnetic lashes? I go, oh my God, what? So let's flash the lashes in the camera, because you look fabulous.
They do. They really do.
Fabulous.
Look nice, really.
Magnetic. No glue, right?
No glue.
No
Glue
chemicals.
on my eyes. No.
No way.
My goodness.
No.
These are beautiful.
It's just new technology.
Yeah, it is. She's such a dork. I love her. But you know what?
They're fabulous.
They
They're
look so natural.
They're just fun.
Yeah, they are.
And my motto has always been, so is my husband's, without your health, there is no wealth. Understand that. You've got to look after your health.
That's right.
And you're the person that's responsible for it. So if you can try any, I'm serious. If you can try.
Point that finger. You point that finger.
Products. I mean, I don't care what the products are. If they're money back guaranteed and they'll give you better mental clarity.
Which these are.
Hello. My mental clarity is the first thing I noticed. I'm 61. No, I'm 72. Mental clarity, more energy, sleep like a baby at night, zero pain. But if it doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. So there's no issue.
Yeah.
And we've been in business 15 years, so very credible company. So, try it. You might like it.
I tell you,
Right?
I can't.
Okay, Mikey.
Look at how much time we have left. That's it. The show's almost over. I can't believe
okay.
it.
Okay, I got to give a plug then.
Give a plug.
Hi.
Here you go.
Here you go. Can you see this? Scott and Fenderson Law Firm. This is where I actually work.
Among many others.
Many
too.
other things, yes.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here today, and hopefully you have gleaned a little bit of information and fun, and our hearts are in the right places.
Yeah.
And set up your own 2020 vision for 2020. Make some changes. Get out there, do something that's different and fun, and make a difference in others' lives like we do here on Prime Time. Thanks for joining us. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye
Happy
now.
Thanksgiving. Be blessed.